Over the past couple weeks, I have been in such a slump. Like, I'm talking not wanting to get out of bed in the morning, not wanting to film, not wanting to journal or meditate, and not even wanting to go to the gym. You know it's bad when I don't want to go to the gym. Now, my old self would have just tried to shake it off, push through it, and do the things that I know I should be doing anyways. But honestly, over the past few years of healing, I've learned that it's okay to not be insanely productive all of the time. It's okay to take some days to just absolutely rot. Sometimes in that moment, that's exactly what we need. We need to rest and reset so that we can get back on our feet. It's so important not to pass judgment on yourself when you're having a bad day or if you're in a bit of a slump. When you beat yourself up for not doing the things you should be doing or not feeling like you're achieving enough, it's actually so counterproductive. You start feeling like you're not enough and you start getting even more overwhelmed and overstimulated, which pushes you even further back in your slump. So in this video, I'm going to be going over how you should actually be getting out of your slump. This is what worked for me just a couple days ago, and I can almost guarantee that it'll work for you as well. So let's get into it. First things first, you are going to create daily non-negotiables for being a functioning human being. Brushing your teeth, making your bed, drinking a cup of water. These shouldn't be anything crazy, just small things that you can do on a daily basis to continue showing up for yourself, even when you really don't feel like it. These small things will accumulate, and not only do they show self-love, they're also pretty easily accomplished and can give you a small hit of dopamine, which will increase your happiness and your motivation and could, in turn, cause a ripple effect of you wanting to continue doing these tasks, doing these things that make you feel good. Next, you want to have something controllable that you can win at every single day. It's similar to what I just mentioned, but these are going to be a little bit more goal-oriented. Many times we get in slumps when we're not achieving our goals, or we're in a job that we don't like, or we just feel generally defeated in life. Maybe you lost a relationship, maybe the scale isn't moving how you'd like it to move, and it just brings you down. A lot of the things that put us into a slump are out of our control. The only thing that is in your control is how you show up and respond to the situation. It's okay to feel sad and defeated and frustrated for a little while, but after some time, it's important that you start taking back that control. You're going to start doing that by having your daily non-negotiables and by writing one input goal every single day. I mentioned input goals versus output goals before, but input goals are things like, I will put 4 hours into my side hustle today. I will go to the gym and do 40 minutes on the Stairmaster. I will read 10 pages of a book. I will go for a 20-minute walk outside. Input goals are fully within your control and get you closer and closer to achieving your output goals. Output goals are things like, I will get a promotion by the end of the year. I will turn my business into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. The output goals are the outcomes that you don't necessarily have control over, but you put in the work on the input goals that you do have control over to reach that outcome, to reach those output goals. Start writing yourself one input goal daily that is easily achievable and will get you closer and closer to that output goal. This, again, gives your brain that little hit of dopamine that it needs to start getting you out of your slump. Number 2.5 is you should subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. I don't know why you're not already subscribed, and you should join my school community. If you haven't already, it's literally free. We have a really great time over there. I will link it in the description down below. Now we can move on to number 3. Number 3, journal your progress. I am a huge advocate for journaling, not only because I think it's so helpful to get all of your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings out onto paper and out of your mind, but I also love it because you get to look back at where you were and see how far you've come. So if you're in a slump, I think that journaling can be beneficial in both of those ways. It'll help you get out of your head and hopefully clear up some of those self-deprecating thoughts you're having. And in the long run, you'll get to see that even in the times when you weren't having your best days, or the weeks when you weren't feeling your best, you still made it out onto the other side. And you are capable of making it to the other side, and this time is no different. You are going to make it to the other side. The slump is just a temporary space. It is not forever, and it is not going to debilitate you for the rest of your life. It is literally just a blip in time. It is like this big of a moment in your life. There's so much more that you have to live for. I've had so many people ask me what to journal about, and I'm the biggest fan of the stream of consciousness journaling. I think sometimes journaling prompts can be really helpful, but if you're in a space where you can't even get yourself out of bed, I don't think that there's a really high likelihood that you're going to go on Pinterest and look up journaling prompts and be super stoked to answer all of those questions. So in this space that you are in right now, I think it's best that you just get your thoughts and your feelings onto a piece of paper. Don't worry about the grammar. Nobody is reading your journal. Don't worry about if it's coherent, if it makes any sense. It doesn't matter. It's just your thoughts and your feelings, and it's going to help you so much to get them out of your mind. I'm giving get off social media an honorable mention because you know that it's important. You know that it's killing your creativity. You know that it's getting you deeper and deeper into your slump. I've talked about it a lot of times. Other people talk about it all the time. So I'm not even going to bring it up again because you know. But honorable mention. Get off of your phone. Moving on. Number 4, change your patterns. Over the past couple weeks, I've essentially been doing the same exact thing every single day. And it took me far too long to realize that maybe I need to switch it up a little bit in order to start feeling a little bit less monotony. This doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to move out of the city you live in. You don't have to redecorate your entire apartment. You don't have to get a whole new job. These can be such tiny little changes. Like if you go for a daily walk outside, go a different way. If you normally take the highway on your commute to work, take a back road. Yes, it might take a little bit longer, but maybe you'll see something that you've never seen before. Maybe you'll recognize some beauty that you haven't recognized before, and that'll be the thing that gets you out of your slump. Maybe you read in a different place in your house. Maybe you normally read on the couch. Maybe you read in a chair. Maybe you read outside. These little changes that seem insignificant, that seem like they wouldn't make a big difference, can actually really reinvigorate you. They can help you to realize that life is still exciting, that there actually is a lot more to discover about life, and there's a lot more to live for. There are so many reasons for you to get up out of bed. I know it's really hard to recognize them right now. I know it's really hard to recognize the good when you don't feel that internally, but I promise you, there is so much beauty in life. Last, but certainly not least, number 4, call a friend and ask how they are doing. I don't see a lot of people talking about this, and I don't know why, but anytime I feel like I'm really in my head about what's going on with me, or I'm calling my friends and I'm talking about my problems, I'm getting all of this pity and external validation that I'm seeking, I just feel like it makes the slump so much worse. And it keeps it really easy for me to stay in that space. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing and so helpful to get things off of your chest. But if you're calling your friend and getting things off of your chest every single day, it can almost be counterproductive and kind of perpetuate the slump that you're in. I find that it is super helpful to call a friend, and instead of immediately talking about yourself, you ask them what's happening with them. You're not the only person on the face of the planet that matters. Everybody else is having their own experience. Hearing about what someone else is experiencing, whether it's good or bad, will help you to get out of your own head and realize that there's a lot more happening than the shit that's going on in your own life. And not only that, but I can almost guarantee you that if you are watching this video, you have it a lot better than millions, if not billions, of people on this planet. So while I don't want to minimize the slump that you're in, because it's valid, your feelings are valid, whatever you are going through is valid, there are also times when you kind of perpetuate your slump. Just like I've talked about before with perpetuating your suffering. Say you got out of a relationship and you just keep calling your friends and talking about the breakup, and it's been 2 months and you still are talking about the breakup and feeling like crap. At that point, you're kind of just perpetuating your own suffering. Your friends have things happening in their lives that you probably know nothing about. And while it's great that they listen and it's important to get your feelings out, when is enough enough? Call your friends and use your support network and get your feelings out and get your emotions out and talk through situations with people that you love. But also call your friends and ask them how they're doing and what's going on in their life. It might help you so much more than you think it will. Maybe they're going through a similar situation, and then you can be like, oh shoot, I'm not the only one going through this. It helps so much to know that you are not alone. I'm sure that there are millions of other people on this planet right now going through a slump. It's so powerful knowing that people experience similar scenarios and make it out the other side, especially when it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. I promise you, you are going to be okay. Give yourself grace and patience and kindness while you're in this slump, but also be self-aware enough to recognize if you're perpetuating it past a point that it doesn't need to be at. There's no need to force yourself out of this slump. There's no need to kick yourself when you're down. It's important that we rest and reset and recover, but try to do your best after a couple days to start taking small actionable steps towards getting yourself out of that slump. That is all I have for you guys today. As always, I'm so grateful whenever you watch any of my videos. It literally, like this morning, I was crying. Every morning I cry. Tears of joy. Tears of joy, of course. Tears of gratitude. I love you guys and I appreciate you more than you will ever understand. And you know the drill. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like me, subscribe to the channel. I don't know why you're not already. Subscribe. Shoot me a comment down below. I love reading your comments. I love replying to your comments. And I will talk to you guys very soon.